Many of us struggle with what is my worth as a person? And today I want to share with you a story that I hope will inspire you to see your greatness and your worth. We often compare ourselves with others to distinguish our worth. We look at what another's wearing, we look at what someone else does for a living. We are constantly comparing who we are to someone else and then making a judgment about whether that's better or worse. And one day, me and my husband went on a motorcycle ride to stay overnight somewhere. And so we were on a 5 or 6 hour ride, and we were on our way home. And it's so great to be on the motorcycle because you feel the changes in temperature, and you smell the changes in the sense of where you're at, and the temperature changes and the sounds change. Everything's different in a short period of time. And so I was looking up at the mountains, and I just noticed a tree. And it seemed as if the tree said to me, "Look at me." And it was a big tree, and it was a beautiful tree. And it seemed like the next tree that kind of had some branches. I kind of looked at that tree and I thought, wow, that is a magnificent tree. And then there was another tree that kind of was missing some branches and kind of looked like it had had better days. And so I kind of tuned into the energy of that tree, and sure enough, it said, "Look at me." And it was so amazing to feel the energy of both of those trees, knowing that they knew that they were magnificent and that they were not judging themselves one against another. And I looked down at the ground and I saw like a tiny blade of grass. And first I saw all the grass, and then I could kind of focus down and imagine what one blade of grass was thinking. And that one blade of grass felt like it was saying, "Look at me." and I marveled at the idea that this blade of grass was just, "Look at me." He wasn't like, "Well, I'm not really the big tree," or I do look like the others." It was mighty in its glory. And it was profound. And I heard and listened a little longer, and I heard a message that said to me, "The tree never wishes it was a rose." And I thought how profound that was, that it just doesn't have the capacity, nature doesn't have the capacity to look to try and be something else. It is magnificent in who it is. If you think about the ugly duckling story, he didn't fit in where he was at. He wasn't, he just felt a little off. And then, but when he found and saw that who he truly was, that the difference wasn't difference, it was his magnificence. That it wasn't a bad difference, it was just, oh, this is who I am. Then he was free. And that was what that story teaches us. So what can we learn from this story? That in my magnificence, I bring to the table certain qualities and certain aspects that are beautiful and that are needed in this world. And it doesn't have anything to do with, or doesn't need to compare with, anybody else's. They have their magnificence, and they have their qualities that they bring to the earth and to the world. If we could, all of us, if we could see our magnificence and step forward into it and stop comparing with one another, we would be able to feel our worth, and we would be able to know that we are worthy of love and belonging and all that this experiences that this world is here for us to enjoy at the highest levels of joy and happiness. So I hope that maybe some of these other wholeness hacks we have can help convince you of your magnificence. that you can use the tools that you need to step into and to believe in the magnificence and the worth that you are. So make sure that you subscribe below so that you can use the tools and tricks you need to feel and be whole.